it's good to be here with Miles, the giraffe, and I'm here with Kendall. So, Kendall, how long have you been working here at the Houston Zoo?
Well, I've been a hoofstock keeper here for about a year and a half now.
And tell us about Miles. He is so active.
Yes, Miles is one of the male giraffes that was born here. Most of our giraffes have been born here, actually. We have 10 giraffes currently, and I believe 8 of them were actually born here at the Houston Zoo. So he's very people-friendly. He was actually partially hand-reared when he was a calf because his mother did not produce enough milk to support a baby giraffe growing, so the keepers would intervene and bottle feed him to make sure that he was getting enough food. Because of that, he is very extra friendly.
So, Kendall, how many giraffes do we have here in this exhibit?
We actually have 10 giraffes currently at the Houston Zoo. We have 7 males and 3 females. Our numbers just changed actually because we did have a baby giraffe born just this last Sunday, and it's a female. She was about 6 feet tall. She weighed about 130 pounds, and she's looking healthy right now. So she's in the back currently with mom while she's getting used to, walking and moving around before we put her out with the rest of the giraffes.
And how old are these giraffes?
These giraffes range in age. Our oldest is about 15 years old. Her name's Tyra. And our youngest, like I said, was just born about 4 days ago. So
and what's the life expectancy of a giraffe?
It's actually very different based on the genders. So the males only live to be about 17, but the females can live into their early 20s. The reason for that is actually because of their size difference. The males are generally much larger and much heavier, and so things like their joints and internal organs just start to wear out a little bit faster on the males than they do on the females, who tend to be a little bit thinner and slimmer.
Tell us about the new baby giraffe. Have we named the baby giraffe?
We have not actually named the baby giraffe. We have kind of a vote board going on at the hoofstock trailer currently, where we're, as keepers, we're trying to figure out something that fits her personality and would work well with the rest of our herd on it.
So when will the new baby giraffe she be brought in with the rest of the herd?
We're not quite sure. We don't have a set date for that yet. In the wild, a giraffe female will go off on her own to give birth and spend a few days just by herself with the calf, kind of creating that mother-calf bond before she'd go back and rejoin the rest of the herd. So we're letting them get that time right now, in the back, just mom and baby, for a little while.
What part of the world do we find giraffes?
We find giraffes in Africa. That's the only continent that they're native to. But unfortunately, we're finding a lot less giraffes out there recently. There's been about a 40% decline in giraffe populations over the past 15 to 16 years. So that is a bit concerning. So we're working on lots of different conservation efforts. The Houston Zoo supports a lot of different giraffe conservation institutions that'll help make sure that there will always be giraffes in Africa.
Well, we thank you for your work here at the Houston Zoo, and citizens, you can come out and see these beautiful animals, and you can see Miles, the giraffe, here at the Houston Zoo.
You put it right in between your teeth. The closer you get, the less tongue you're gonna get. So you just go.
Oh my God.
Less tongue you get now.
Let's take two.
All right. Hello, Miles. How are you doing? You like this lettuce? Well, it's good to see you here at the Houston Zoo. That's good for you, right? Appreciate you coming up here to see us. Look at that. He just loves that lettuce. Here's some more. Wow. Well, this you're gonna like. This is my favorite piece right here. This is kind I would eat. Like that? I really like these giraffes. They're very friendly. They're calm, and they like what I like. They like to eat lettuce. So I really enjoy being here today. This is a learning experience.
Well, it's always good. It's always fun. Giraffes are my favorite. It's the main reason why we came today, to feed the giraffes. We only feed them lettuce, but it was really exciting because giraffes are like my favorite animals, and that's what I wanted to do because it's my birthday today, so I wanted to come feed the giraffes for my birthday.
We're here at the Rhino exhibit, and I'm here with Kendall again. Kendall, tell us about Bumbles. Is it Bumble?
It's Mumbles.
It's Mumble.
Mumbles the rhino. So he is 3 years old, and he came to us from a breeding facility in White Oak, or called White Oak Conservation Center in Florida. Him and 2 of his brothers. So we currently have 3 male rhinos here at the Houston Zoo.
Tell us about the horn on the rhinos, and there's 2. Can you tell us about those?
Yes, so all white rhinos are going to have 2 horns. They're going to have that primary horn at the end of the nose and then a smaller secondary horn kind of up further in between their eyes. It's actually made out of keratin, which is the same thing that our fingernails are made out of. It's very compressed keratin. So a fingernail is actually a pretty good kind of example of what a rhino horn would be like, because it has that root beneath the skin that it grows from, and then it'll just keep growing throughout their life.
And how many rhinos do we have here in this exhibit?
We currently have 3. They are all half brothers. They have the same dad, and they're all 3 years old.
And they're males, females?
Yes, all 3 males. They're
all 3 are males. And so I just was petting Mumbles, and you had me petting him behind the ears, and his skin is so soft around that part of his body. I noticed that the rest looks like it has mud on it. Can you tell me why?
Yes, wallowing in mud is actually really good for rhino skins, because even though they do have really tough, thick skin, it can be susceptible to things like sun damage or insect bites. So they wallow in the mud, and it helps protect their skin from all that. And it helps them cool off, because they live where it's hot, so they need ways to kind of cool themselves down, just like we do.
Well, I noticed that we just walked right into this area. I'm assuming that this could also be an area to house a rhino where we are now.
Yes, it is. We're standing in one of the stalls. He's standing in another. That way, over the winter, when it gets very cold overnight, we can bring them in to make sure that they stay warm enough. So we have separate areas where we can separate them all overnight.
And we were able just to walk right through the wall because they're such large animals, they can't possibly get out.
That's exactly right. It's made to keep a rhino in, not people. So we can move in between freely.
And how fast do they run?
These guys can actually reach speeds kind of 30 to 35 miles an hour, which is pretty fast for something their size. They're really good at turning on a dime too, so they don't even really lose momentum when they start to feel good and they want to run.
And how much did you say he weighed?
Right now he weighs about 2,300 pounds, and that's only about half what he will weigh by the time he's done fully grown. He'll probably be more in the 4,000 to 5,000 pound range.
And what is his diet?
He eats coastal hay here at the Houston Zoo, and that's because white rhinos are grazers in the wild. They would be eating only grasses. And so we simulate that by giving him coastal hay. Nutritionally, it's the best for him. And then what he's getting now is alfalfa hay, because it's kind of an extra special treat. It's a little bit leafier, a little bit greener for him, so they like that.
So we buy it by the bale. So how much does he eat a day?
Absolutely. So between him and his 2 brothers, all together our 3 rhinos go through about 2 bales of coastal hay a day, and each bale is going to be maybe 50 to 60 pounds, so they're going through 100 to 120 pounds of hay a day. They'll probably be going through about 180 pounds by the time they're done fully growing.
And that's per day?
Per day, exactly.
Well, that's a lot less than the elephants, because I believe that's 180 pounds per day.
Yep, elephants, I believe, are the largest land mammal by mass. These guys are the second most, so they eat a lot, but not as much as an elephant.
Thank you, Kendall, and it's so good to be here with you and with Mumbles, the white rhino, here at the Houston Zoo.